The Fifine A6V is a budget gem of a USB microphone, especially for its price and how good audio you are getting from this little USB microphone. This microphone was sent out to me by Fifinetech for a review, but this does not affect my opinion on the microphone. I have tested several microphones in past, and I will be comparing the A6V against my Blue Yeti X later in this video. In the box, you will find a user manual, a non-braided USB-C to USB-A for plugging the microphone into your computer with some sort of what looks like an aluminum housing on the ends of the cable, a small desk stand that is basically a little tripod made out of metal with rubber feet that can be taken off. And finally, the microphone itself. The microphone comes with a built-in shock mount to reduce unwanted noise if you end up accidentally bumping into the microphone itself, or if you will be handling the microphone while using it on like a boom arm, so it should help to reduce the noise that usually comes from these microphones. Also comes with a included pop screen, so your pulses will not hit directly into the capsule. These are mostly generated when in words like P, B or F or etc. So we will be testing that also in this video. For this microphone you don't need any additional software, and no software was made for this microphone. So it is just a plug and play. You simply just plug in the USB-C connector to the back of the microphone and the other end to the USB-A to your motherboard. You dial in your volume with this volume knob on the bottom of the microphone, and you are ready to record your voice if it's podcast, stream or narration for your video. The microphone has built-in RGB illumination, so when it is plugged in into your computer, the RGB lights will show the microphone is connected and is ready to be used. On the top of the microphone there is a tap to mute button. So for example, if you are not using the microphone and you don't want the RGB stay on, you can simply just tap the mute button and the RGB will go off. Build quality of the Fifine A6V is very decent, but it is built from plastic. So I do not suggest any harsh handling while using the microphone, otherwise something might break. But from a user perspective it doesn't feel that horrible cheap, so I give Fifine Plus for making this microphone lightweight and also to reduce the overall cost of it as well. But keep in mind that if you will be using the microphone on a boom arm, which I highly recommend to use, already included desk stand to get away from the unwanted noise coming from your keyboard if you are using it for example as a gaming streamer. Also it is better to use the microphone closer to your mouth, at a distance of 10 to 15 centimeters to reduce echo if you have a big room like I do and have some room reverberation. It is recommended to use the microphone in a close proximity distance, but I do not recommend using a heavy microphone boom arm like my Rode PSA1, for which the microphone is too light to hold it properly in this position, but it is workable. I would just recommend using a lighter boom arm that is made for these lightweight USB microphones. These boom arms you will also find in a Fifinetech store. So if you want to upgrade your setup, go check out their boom arms as well, or I can suggest you also checking their low profile boom arms. You have been listening to the audio of the Fifine A6V microphone this whole time of the video, as I am recording a narration with this microphone. There has been used a processing which I use for all of my microphones. I normally use a mixer for my XLR microphone, but this time I am using a software called Steelseries Sonar, so a noise cancellation, noise gate, compressor, and some EQ was being used to process the audio of this microphone. Now we are going to do a raw audio test of the Fifine A6V, and we will be comparing it against my more expensive USB microphone, a Blue Yeti X. This might be a slightly unfair comparison with these microphones, because the Blue Yeti is almost like 4 times the price, but the idea is to show you what audio quality you are getting for this amount of money, and you can decide by yourself if this is the mic for you or not. Alright, so we are testing the microphone on its own stand with no processing. So this is how it sounds basically out of the box. And you can see, you can turn the microphone on the stand up and down, and I want to do a test. How does the microphone sound from the sides and from the back and from the top? Because the microphone should be a cardioid polar pattern, so it should be picking my voice only from the front, and from the behind it should be slightly less sensitive. So let's say I have the microphone turned right side, and this is how it sounds. This is how the microphone sounds from behind. This is how the microphone sounds from left side, and this is how the microphone sounds from the top. I do not recommend to talking into the top of the microphone because this is not intended. You should have to speak directly into the microphone's capsule, and with its pop filter you can basically tell where to put the microphone and where to speak into the capsule. Also, there is the tap to mute button. You will not be hearing me, so you want to mute your microphone, just tap it and you're basically done. Some handling noises, you have been hearing me handling the microphone, so I hope the provided shock mount helps reducing the handling noise. This is about 15 centimeters from my mouth, and this is how it basically sounds, the microphone, without any processing. And I have a computer running next to my right, and I will be doing a test. I wanna do a test if you can use this microphone like on its desk stand, and for example like play some games, and if the microphone will be sensitive to those sounds or not, and if the microphone will be a handler to some noise from the keyboard if it's behind. So let's just do some, not like typing, I'm just pressing down some keys to see if the microphone picks up the sound or not. This is not much intended to use the microphone like that. I highly recommend you using a boom arm, but if this is what you have, you can still use it without any problems. I think maybe your friends wouldn't mind that much, but maybe if you will decide to stream or make some videos, so this might be like annoying to the listeners. And I will be tapping on the table to see if there is the noise reduction. I'm just basically typing on some keys. I'm not trying like to type something, so I know it looks bad, but it is what it is. Now I have moved the microphone closer to my mouth and the keyboard is behind the microphone, so let's test how it sounds. Also, let's do the test of the tapping onto the microphone, so let's see if the shock mount is still working properly on the desk stand that came with this microphone. Now I will be tapping on the microphone to see if the built-in shock mount works how it is supposed to or not. Okay, let's do the proximity effect on this microphone. I'm basically right on the pop filter and speaking like 5 centimeters away from the capsule. This is how the microphone sounds without any processing. Quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. And without the pop filter, I think there will be much more plosives in it, but let's test it. A quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Also, if I will be speaking very loud to the microphone, this is how it sounds. I have to turn the volume a little bit back to bring my levels, intended levels, but this is how the microphone sounds if I speak really loud. So you can tell if the microphone is able to handle the loud noises. So if you will scream into the microphone, this will sound good or not. I hope it works. Basically, we want to try to scream into the microphone and see if the microphone is capable of handling the loud noises. In my opinion, the Fifine A6V is a very nice little USB microphone that doesn't break your budget. If you are starting as a streamer or you just want to get a budget microphone to record your voice, the build quality is decent for this price. I haven't found any problems with the build quality. This microphone sounds very nice and pleasing, and I can highly recommend it to any of you as their first microphone ever. Or if you just want to upgrade your microphone quality from your headset while talking with your friends over a Discord, when you play some games, this might also be a good option for you as well. So what do you think of this microphone? Is it something you will grab, but it is not your taste? You can also check other microphones that Fifine is making. There is a ton of products to choose from, and I believe you will never be disappointed from whatever microphone or audio device you will get from them, because they make really good audio quality products for good price. So don't forget to check their website for what products they are offering, and hopefully you will find something to your liking. My friend also is using the same exact microphone as this one, which I was able to try when I was on a visit to his place, and I was well surprised of how good microphone you can get from Fifine for this little money, and the sound quality also surprised me. Hope you will have a wonderful day, and if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well as liking this video, and you can comment under this video what you will like to see in future of my reviews. Peace out.